Hello, my name is Gregory and I would like to thank you for reading my article called Guitar Fretboard Secrets. This video is just a bonus item for this article, so I'll try to say a few more things about the examples that I listed in my article and comment on some of them. So the first one was this. This is this diagonal approach in guitar playing, where I identify where my notes are on a fretboard, basically where my octaves are, and then I just follow the same pattern on each pair of strings. So this was A, B, C, D, E, F, that I repeat an octave higher on the D string on the 7th fret, and I follow other frets obviously, and then on the 10th fret of the B string. So here we are. So we just played A, B, C, D, E, F, A, B, C, D, E, F, and A, B, C, D, E, F in 3 different octaves. This idea helps you to memorize modes actually, because if you know the first 6 notes of the mode, you can now move it to the next position, an octave higher, and an octave higher. And mix them up somehow together. So I'll play you now the example number 2, which is just a sequence applied to the first example. So basically, I repeated the pattern on each string twice. So that gives you more musical idea, I would say. It sounds more musical than just playing the scale up or down, whatever. Then I found that it would be cool if I just show you one more sequence, which is neoclassical sequence, typical for guys like Vinnie Moore, Yngwie Malmsteen or Paul Gilbert. It sounds like this. And I move it in my diagonal shape up the neck. So not bad, right? The next example, I think it's example number 4. It's a little bit harder sequence. I'll play you on a first using first 6 notes. So that's the sequence that I'll move up the shape that I showed you on a diagram originally, diagram number 2. One more time. So once you speed it up, it's gonna sound kind of cool. So this is it. This is the first part. This is all about this diagonal approach in navigation of the fretboard. It's very useful because you learn something once and you can reuse it in 2 different positions. So this is it. Then the second part of this article was something to do with this linear approach, where you move up the neck or down the neck using one string or pairs of strings. So to be honest, I didn't really talk much about using a single string. I leave this to you. You can basically learn what are the notes on in any key you want, or just use the modes as your map, and then try to apply some sequences there. As an example, you can just apply this neoclassical sequence there. So you basically identify which position are you in right now, and just move up and down the sequence. That's it. But now it's time to talk about this linear approach with pairs of strings that I use. So my example number 5 is all about identifying the positions on the neck where I use the pairs of strings. So this is the G mixolydian position. It comes from this big shape, but I just use the first top strings, 2 strings obviously. So it's the G mixolydian position, although it's not the note G that I'm starting from. I'm starting from E. Oh. Then the next one is A Aeolian. The next one is B Locrian. The next one is C Ionian. Then D Dorian. After that you've got E Phrygian position, F Lydian position, and G mixolydian again, an octave higher. So let's play it all together. So this is just a way to link modes together, right? In a seamless way, so that you don't have to start necessarily any shape on the root node of the mode, because it's gonna sound kind of bizarre or awkward, you know. So you wanna make it more seamless. So by playing in a linear way, you learn the neck from a completely different angle. Therefore, you've got more options, and your melodies, they will be probably more interesting because they will be more linear. And it's harder to make a mistake when you solo if you use this kind of linear approach. Okay, time to play the example number 6. Let me just have a look. It's the sequence where I repeat this pattern, but it will be here. That could be actually played cleaner. So it sounds kind of cool, you know. It sounds more musical, probably. And to be honest, it sounds very like Yngwie Malmsteen, you know, very neoclassical. But you can just use just a tiny fragments of those sequences in your solos. So it's not necessarily neoclassical music that you are playing, but you can still use some of those ideas. Okay, time for more neoclassical again idea. It's the last one, number 7. So it's the same sequence as we played before, but moved up the neck in a linear way. So this time I used the pairs of strings. So what I ask you to do? Basically, try to use those ideas, because they will help you to memorize the modes better. They will help you to reinforce your knowledge about modes, if you know them already. And hopefully you get out of those boxes that you might be staying in right now. I actually teach a lot of people, and some of them, they came to me knowing already modes. They claimed that they knew modes, but the problem was that they never could integrate them together. So what this article helps to do is to integrate all the modes together. So this is just the beginning, obviously, of the journey, but But it's a good point to start, and for some people it's a good eye opener on how things work on a guitar. You know, for me this concept was pretty amazing because, you know, I was never able to let's say go from one position of the minor pentatonic scale to the other position somewhere here, you know. So this was like a black spot. I didn't know what's going on in between. So you won't have those problems. You'll be able to go from one place to another. And one more thing, I want you to actually use those ideas on different strings as well. So that way you know the neck thoroughly, and you're gonna improve as a guitarist because you're gonna challenge yourself. So challenge yourself and work on your weak areas, right? That will make you definitely a better player. So I hope that this video is not too long. You know, practice and have fun, and thanks for watching, and what else? Just I hope that I'll see you soon, right? So take care.